Hey friends, long time no see. Back in December of 2020, I got some bad news from my bike repair shop. They found some fractures in my bike rim, in this one actually, and said, hey, you gotta stop riding around on that, it's dangerous. At some point it's gonna crack in half and you're going to crater onto the pavement with your face. And I like my face, so I decided to buy a new bike wheel. But it turns out that these things are pretty expensive when you buy them pre-built. I am just a bike commuter. I go to and from work, maybe to the grocery store. This is not my main hobby. So I don't have 1 or 2 or 700 euros lying around to buy a new wheel. What I do have is 60 euros for the part that's broken and a little bit of patience. So I decided to take the money I would have spent replacing the whole wheel and instead buy the tools and components necessary to teach myself how to do this at some point in the future, figuring I'd have to do it again. And here we are at some point in the future, and I'm doing it again. Pretty smart, right? And I'm proud of my work, if I do say so myself. This wheel is still here, it's still looking great. My face is still here, it's still looking, it's okay, it's okay. But what's not okay is this free hub body, which is rotating in both directions. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to only rotate in one direction, like this one. Have a nice ratcheting sound. Yeah, so this thing is broken and it needs to be replaced. The last time I did this, I took some pictures of the process and that was fun. This time I decided maybe I'll dust off my video editing skills, which I haven't used in a long time, and maybe practice 2 skills at once. Full disclosure though, I am not a gifted mechanic. The last repair job that I attempted, my wife had a flat tire. That's it, just a flat tire. And I somehow translated that into breaking a good portion of her drivetrain, the shifter, the chain case. In my defense, she has a Dutch bike, and that's a whole other skill set. But yeah, I was pretty traumatized by that whole experience. Yeah, I'm not a gifted mechanic, but I am a patient mechanic. It took me 3 months, but I fixed everything that I broke. Like, I broke it, but I fixed it. So yeah, don't come here looking for tutorials or tips and tricks or anything like that. There are way better YouTube channels for that. The reason I'm doing this is because I really enjoy it when somebody who cares about something explains why I should care about it too. So this is me feeding back into that system. Maybe this inspires you to pick up some DIY project that you've been putting off for a while, something you haven't practiced in a long time. Yeah, so here is what I learned about building a bike wheel. I'm not a very good video editor either, so you're along for that ride too. So here we go. Let's talk about wheels in general, and then we'll get into some more interesting stuff. So off we go. Star wipe. No, I have the free video editing software. I'm sorry. Again, not my main hobby. So yeah, here we go. Whoa! Hey, it's me in the future editing the video here. It turns out since the last time I checked, free video editing software has gotten very powerful and star wipes are super easy, so please enjoy! The wheel itself is made up of only 4 parts. There is the hub here in the middle, and this is the only part that's even remotely mechanically complex. Some hubs can get very complicated. Mine is very simple. It basically operates like this ratcheting screwdriver. In one direction, it freely rotates, and in the other, it locks to transfer power. The rim gives the wheel its overall shape. The spokes hold everything together and hold the tension. And the spoke nipples, don't laugh, are the connector between the spoke and the rim, and you can use that to adjust the tension. And the tension is really the most important part here. This is a spoke, you can see it's pretty easy to bend. The rim is also not very strong on its own, but when you tension everything down together, all these weak parts turn into a very strong single unit that you can bomb down a hill on a mountain bike and bump over rocks and curbs on the street in the city. Yeah, and I think that's really cool how the wheel of a bike has a very important job, and that job is being done by extremely simple parts and not some complex mechanism. It's the physics that make this thing complex. The parts are very simple. What's not simple is trying to figure out what parts to buy. Everything has to fit together, and there's really not much room for error. Your spokes have to be just the right size to fit between your hub and your rim. If they're too short, you won't be able to put tension into them. If they're too long, it will stick out and puncture your tire. Your rim needs to be the right width and diameter to fit on your bike and still rotate after it's attached to your bike. The hub needs to be match the brakes, it needs to match the cassette, it has to have the same number of spoke holes as your rim. The list just keeps going on and on. Everything needs to fit together, and you really only have a couple of millimeters to play with. Title of my sex tape. So it's really important to buy the right parts in the right sizes so that everything fits together at the end. Making matters more complicated. There are a lot of different sizes and styles of bike components, many of which are incompatible. There are race bikes, which are slender and lightweight. There are mountain bikes, which are thick and chunky. There are road bikes, which are meant for long rides over flat terrain. But touring bikes are made for long rides over hilly terrain. The English have their own style of bike. The French have their own style of bike. The Dutch have their own style of bike. Dutch bike. Dutch bike.
It's just a flat tire.
Dutch bike.
How hard could it be?
E-bikes need to be pretty robust. They have a motor and a heavy battery attached to them. And apparently there's a difference between city bikes and urban bikes, but I don't understand what that difference is. Actually assembling everything together is not easy, but with some patience you can make progress. By far the most difficult portion of this whole build was just buying the right parts in the first place. It's really difficult to know what will fit together. You have to look at manufacturer specifications. I still don't know enough about the process to confidently go out and get stuff that will fit, so this time around I'm cheating. I bought the exact same make and model of hub, and I'm just gonna do a one-to-one replacement. There's no changes in size, nothing has changed, it's just already there. So yeah, that's it. I'm out of scripts. Like, there's no more words on here for me to say. I need to now just do this repair. So I'm just gonna throw it onto Timelapse and hope for the best. Here we go. Wish me luck. The first step is to simply take everything apart. Fun fact, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey only works when working from the top of the bolt. I'm working here from the bottom, and you can pinpoint the moment I realize I've been tightening everything instead of loosening right here. Yeah, not a talented mechanic. Now that I'm rotating spokes in the right direction, I can easily separate the nipples and rim, don't laugh, and I'm left with the hub and spokes in this pointy hedgehog thing that's very difficult to put down. Now that everything is taken apart, I'm going to clean everything with some isopropyl alcohol. My hands are going to be all over this wheel, so it's a good idea to clean off the road grime now at the beginning. After a quick lunch break, I remembered to turn on the lights so I can actually see what I'm doing and lubricate the nipples, don't laugh. The nipples need to easily rotate in their socket in the rim and on the spoke threads, so having them rotate cleanly and smoothly is really helpful. The next step is lacing the spokes. I'm using a 3-cross lace to make the wheel as strong as possible. I'm following along with some very helpful video tutorials from Park Tool on how to do this correctly. Thank you guys. It's not hard to do it right, but there are several ways to do it wrong. Now that the easy part is out of the way, it's on to the hard part, tensioning and truing. Each one of these spokes needs to be tightened up to hold roughly an equal amount of tension in each spoke. If it's too loose or too tight on one side, the rim will be egg-shaped instead of round, or off-center and unstable. I'm still having trouble with righty-tighty, lefty-loosey being reversed, so I write myself a note: clockwise loosen, counterclockwise tighten. This note helps me out quite a bit, and that's the only adjustment being made this entire time. It's just tightening and loosening spokes from here on out. Okay, that was a little tedious, but it's more or less true. It's in the lateral dimension. It's only got about like maybe a couple millimeters. It's pretty straight. Unfortunately, it's straight, but off to the left, off to the non-drive side. So I just put it on my bike to test, and it's like the two wheels are sitting like this, but the back wheel is just shifted over a little bit. It's straight, but it's shifted over. So now I need to make some large adjustments. I just got done making some very small adjustments to get it into this millimeter tolerance, but now I need to make some large adjustments to shift it over. This is unfortunately just part of the process. It has to be tensioned in order for you to see where this sits. This is called dishing, if you're interested in the jargon. So yeah, now I need to dish it out here to the drive side by about 1 centimeter and ruin all that good work that I did. But the tension is there. I'll just shift it over a bit. This is just part of the process, and we're moving on to the next step. So far, so good. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with how this has gone. So yeah, let's do that now and see where we get. Last time, this wheel truing process took me 2 days of adjusting, measuring, and adjusting again. This time around, I bought a wheel truing stand, which makes the job a lot easier. I still have to keep taking the wheel out of the stand and actually attach it to my bike to check if it's correctly dished and centered in my bike frame. Fancier truing stands let you do that all in one tool, but they also cost 4 times as much. After 4 rounds of checks and corrections, I have the rim correctly centered over the hub. Now the large scale modifications are complete, so I do the small scale changes needed to get everything aligned. Yeah, everything looks good, so I do a little victory dance. Yeah! With the surgery complete, it's time to sew up the patient. I reattach the brake and cassette, I apply some new rim tape, and I put the inner tube and tires back in place. The only thing left to do is to see how it rides. Okay, moment of truth. Shifting looks great. And the brake works too. Hell yeah. Well, it took all day, but I did it. The wheel's fixed. Everything works. Everything works great. I am so happy with the way that this turned out. I thought for sure that I was gonna be missing a part or like some tool, but no, one and done, baby. Let's go. I think the thing that helped me the most was this truing stand. The last time I didn't have this, I had to use zip ties on my bike frame, and it just really took a long time. This made it very easy to just rotate the right spoke and really zero in very quickly. I think for next time, I am going to bite the bullet and just figure out how to buy these parts. If my hub ever breaks again, I want to upgrade this hub. This is a very cheap model. I'd like to have a version that's where you can service the free hub itself. On more expensive models, you can just take this part off, fix it, and then put it back on without disassembling the wheel. And I think I would rather do that than just keep replacing this exact same model over and over again. Yeah, so that's it. All I have to do is clean up all the mess that I made, and then I'll be done. Do you want to do an edit bay bit? An edit bay bit? No, like an edit bay bit where like you're over there and you're editing the video, and I'm still here in the past. Yeah, I know what they are. It's just we're almost finished, man. Come on, it'll be funny. Look, every bit of banter we do here, I have to edit and piece together. The video's like 20 minutes long. Can we just wrap it up? Well, I don't want it to be over. If it's over, I have to clean all this stuff, and I'm really not looking forward to that. So can we please just do this bit? Fine, just make it quick. Yes! Okay, so any tips from the future? Tips from the future. Yeah, actually, you don't know this yet, but the wheel works. Everything goes great. Yeah. Cheers to that. Was that olive oil? No, it looks like it's lemon juice concentrate. You spilled bike degreaser in your beer. Tips from the future. I am sitting on top of 6 hours of video footage. 6 hours of stuttering and filler words and nose picking. You ate lunch on camera. I would like to be done now. Nope. Okay. We're done. You made your point. We're done. Goodbye. This was fun. We'll see you next time. There is so much stuff on this table.